Hi, Kate.
Hi Frank, how you going?
No, good. How are you? Nice to meet you
Yeah,
virtually.
I know. Nice to meet you too.
How's it all going? Have you done something like this before?
Um, Not exactly. Not as a totally blind date
Okay.
with no
Yeah.
information prior.
Yeah.
You?
Well, that makes two of us. No, not totally blind. Like I've been set up on a date before, via a friend, but you have a photo or a little bit of information.
Yeah.
And then you kind of maybe have a little bit of conversation and go into it, but never completely blind. So yeah,
There you go.
first for everything during COVID lockdown.
Yeah, it's a whole new world, huh?
Yeah, it sure is. And we do have a lot of questions to get through.
I
Um,
heard.
no cheating here. I've got them face down. I haven't seen them.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah, maybe we should get to it.
All right.
we
Let's
got,
see
we
what
got,
they bring.
we got a bit to cover. So here we go. I've just turned it over. Oh, I'm a bit nervous. Who knows what we're going to have to answer?
Oh,
Okay.
all right. Let's see.
So I'll ask the question and then, you can dive in and then, I'll answer it also. So question number one, Kate. If you could have dinner with three people, dead or alive, who would they be?
Oh, three people. Okay. Firstly, I'll just like to say I'm indecisive. So
Cool.
hopefully I can
Fair
answer
enough.
most of these questions.
Okay. Yeah, I feel you. Let's drink to that.
All right. Yes. Cheers to answering questions. All right. Well, I'm going to have to put Johnny Depp on there because he was just my obsession from my teenage days.
Okay. Yeah.
So I
Good
think he
old
was just
Johnny.
always in that. Yep. Oh gosh, who else? I don't even know. I need a bit of inspiration here. I do have an answer to the question. Who are yours? You tell me yours and then I'll try and like bounce off that.
Mine would be Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I was a huge fan growing up as a kid of
Yep.
MJ. Sophia Loren.
Okay.
And
Because?
Sophia, because my grandmother actually shares the same birthday with Sophia Loren.
Okay.
And I've been very, very fortunate to have met Sophia at the Cannes Film Festival
Oh, wow.
quite a few years ago. And yeah, an inspiration in the industry also, working in the film industry. And I've also been developing a project based on my encounters with Sophia. So yeah, that's why I'd love to have her.
Okay, yeah.
I could probably have a conversation with her.
Yeah.
And the third would be, I'd say Al Pacino.
Oh, all right. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that better have given you a little bit of inspiration.
A little bit in a different kind of way. So you made me realize that my grandpa would be one of them.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Because, yeah, I'd just love to see him again.
Yep.
Obviously, he's passed, so that would be
Yep.
nice to spend time with him again. And a third, maybe, I can't even think of her name, but who's that lady that went and spent all those years in the jungle with the chimps?
Ooh, I don't know.
What's her name? I can't remember her name. It'll come to me later, I'm sure.
And just
Maybe
bang.
maybe her, the chimp lady.
Okay.
Because
Sounds like we could do with more guests. I mean, you always want more guests at the table, but yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Whew, question one, tricky already.
Question one
I'm
down.
worried. I'm worried.
Well, I guess that's the point of not seeing them. So,
this is true. Yeah.
Okay. Question number two. Would you rather be super famous or super wealthy, and why?
I mean, I guess the famous would probably come along with wealth in most cases. So you'd kind of get
True.
the two both there. But then I don't really love the idea of being followed and having people wherever I go.
Mm-hmm.
But I did always want to be famous when I was little.
Yep.
So, but then just the wealthy means you can just get all the things that the famous people get anyway without being followed around and just living your life. So maybe at this stage of my life, I'll go for that one. Just wealthy.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I would say, well, yeah, of course. I mean, the wealth would mean that you could still live a private life if you're not necessarily famous. It would be, I think, if you were famous for, you know, doing something you love and something that you were great at, I'd like that. Working in the film industry myself, that would be, it would be nice to be respected for your great work and what you do. So, yeah, I think fame in that sense would be good. And I think, you know, it could come in hand with wealth. But yeah, for the right reasons, that would be nice.
I guess fame as well would then have that added, well, I guess it could be a bonus or a burden of influencing people. So,
absolutely.
you know, if you've got good things that you want to influence in people, then you'd be able to send that message pretty easily. But then also if you like to go out and do whatever you want that people might see as a negative, then you're influencing people in a bad way. Although that would be more of a burden, I guess, in that.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly right. I think being famous or wealthy and utilizing that in the right way to influence people for the better, then absolutely, I think we could both appreciate that.
Yeah.
Question number 3.
I feel like this is going to take quite a few glasses of wine or whatever.
What are you drinking over there?
I'm drinking just some Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh, nice.
Nice and easy for a sunny afternoon.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there. I've had a little bit of wine over lockdown, and I thought today I'd mix it up. I'm having vodka, lime, and soda.
Ooh, nice.
So it's nice and, you know, fresh with this sort of weather.
Yeah, sure is.
Okay, question number 3. What is the perfect day for you? Describe it in every detail. Oh, okay.
Every detail. That might be going a bit too far.
Well, maybe not too much. But
okay, perfect day for me would probably be waking up in a luxurious hotel room in some exotic location on a nice summer's day, and then eating like the buffet breakfasts that you get at those resorts, because they're the best.
So good.
And then maybe exploring somewhere new a little bit, doing a bit of, basically my perfect day is just a summer's holiday. With someone I love or a good friend or
Look, I would second that, especially with everything going on in the world right now. But yeah, definitely waking up, summer, an island, you know, or on the beach, you know, sleeping in would be nice too. And, you know, going out for breakfast, going for a walk, maybe along the beach, with someone you love or friends and family around. A nice afternoon, you know, having lunch, and then, you know, a nice evening with a glass of wine and some dinner and maybe a good movie.
So a movie over going out dancing?
No, look, I mean, I think I've been stuck in movie world right now. No, definitely I'd pick going out dancing.
Okay, good. Good answer.
Maybe short movie, then go out dancing.
Yes, have it all.
Yeah, that would be a nice dance. Nice boogie is always welcome, especially during summer.
Fun, hey? Yeah, all right.
Yes,
right.
Okay.
Pretty on par with that one.
That's good. Question number 4. Would you rather to eat a pie or a sausage roll? Why? Well, this is a tough one.
Deep.
Link to that one.
Oh, look. That's a tricky one. I might go the sausage roll.
Okay.
I enjoy both pretty equally, but sausage roll is a lot easier to eat. I often make a lot of mess with a pie, and I have to keep adding this like extra sauce on because it just disappears somewhere and then it drips everywhere. And then sausage roll is much easier to eat, so I'll go with that.
Sausage roll.
You?
100% sausage roll.
Oh,
100%.
okay, wow.
Always been a fan of sausage roll. I don't mind a meat pie, but yeah, a bit more messy. And yeah, you have to keep, exactly, you know, add in the sauce. Sausage roll, you can just kind of sauce it all over the top, and then away you go.
You're done.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, now I'm craving a sausage roll.
Do you have any? Got any in the freezer?
I don't.
Oh, no.
I'm glad that was an easy question.
Got to give us some.
I'm the one under pressure here reading these questions. So let's question number 5. What's a memorable dream you've had recently? What's your interpretation of this dream?
Oh God. I don't have a great memory, and so if I remember a dream in the morning, I'm like, oh wow, that must have been moving.
I kind of forget my dreams.
Yeah.
It's rare. Some I remember, but
yeah, well that's it. Some I remember in the morning, but then later on, unless I make an effort to remember it, if it's like something I wanted to tell someone, or you know they were in it or something. So unless I actually mentally make an effort to remember it, then I don't really remember.
You don't really. Yeah.
So
nothing jumping out.
Nothing jumping. I can tell you about one when I was a child, though. My recurring nightmare.
Oh, okay.
So I had a dog called Cleo, and she was just beautiful. But then my recurring nightmare would be Cleo was outside, and then she wanted to come inside, but there was an evil Cleo. And so the evil Cleo would pretend to be the good Cleo and want to come inside, but then I didn't know if it was the good Cleo or the evil Cleo, and I didn't know, and I was all like, you know, over, do I let this is the real one or not? And then recently my mum messaged me saying that Pet Sematary was on TV, or there was a new one or something.
Oh, okay.
And then, so I think she got me confused with my sister, because my sister always loved horror movies. And it just made me think, oh, this is probably where my nightmare came from. I probably watched Pet Sematary when I was a kid, and then it gave me this recurring nightmare.
Yeah, interesting, crazy dreams.
So, yeah, that's not recent at all, but it's a dream story.
Yeah. Nevertheless, it's a dream story, as you said.
That's all I've got. That's all I've got.
Dreams are weird. You never know. As I said, I tend to forget mine, but probably the most recent, I had this bizarre dream that I was going through an airport in the middle of a cool dream, actually. People are, 2 actors that I look up to, in between Al Pacino and De Niro. I don't know what I don't know if we're on the way to filming, something, or,
so
but there was a lot.
Film with them.
Maybe I was in the actual film. There was a lot of press around. I had some friends, like my entourage, and I'm just in the middle of them, walking.
Sounds pretty good.
To this airport. So it was a very cool dream, but it ended like too soon.
Oh, that's always the case with the good ones.
That was a shame, but yeah, it was just one that comes to mind, and that was
so
not probably.
Do you believe in dreams having meanings, or do you think they're just random?
There's occasions where I would look up things like that. I don't know, a bit of both. I do believe, anything's possible, and sometimes you might dream or think about certain things, and something can come from that. But sometimes it could just be totally random, or maybe you've seen a film recently, you've seen an image of these people, or you're just channeling them.
It's such, talking about channeling, my grandpa, who I said earlier, I would invite him to dinner. He was sick for a little bit before he died, and then so he was for about a year. So he had a stroke, and then he was in a home for about a year, hating life. I dreamed that he passed away one night, and then in the morning got a call from Mum saying he's passed away. And I was like, wow, God, that's so weird.
There you go. My grandmother actually also had a stroke, and passed. And bless her, loved her. I was very, very close to her. I was going to say, if I had extra guests, I think my grandmother would just take over the conversation.
Not a bad thing, is it?
So yeah, she was an amazing person, but yeah, gone too soon. I mean,
Yeah.
85, lived a good life, but I guess you want them to be around for lots
Yeah,
longer.
and that's it. It's the
They
old
don't
age
make them
sucks in that
like
way.
that anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh.
Okay, next question. If a psychic could tell you the future in a precise detail, would you choose to find out? Why or why not? And if yes, what would you want to know in particular? Very loaded question.
Okay, so if it's a like all or nothing kind of thing, then probably not,
Okay.
because I think knowing too much is not necessarily good, because then you might change what you normally do, expecting these things to happen, or knowing that this is going to happen, or this is how long I've got, or this is when I'm going to meet someone, or all those things. So I think if that's, they're either going to tell you everything and you have to deal with that knowledge, or you just don't know anything, then probably not.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I guess, I don't know, my main thing at the moment, like I've been single for so long, I would I'd like to know if that's going to change and when.
Something's on the horizon.
Yeah, is there something, is there a bit of light
Yeah.
at the end of the tunnel, or so that'd probably be my main thing. Nothing too deep, like I don't want to know when I'm going to die or how, or anything about my family. Like I'd hate to know anything about my family, because it could be great, but if it's not great news, then you just kind of probably get depressed about that until it happens, instead of just enjoying life until
living life
it
in the moment.
happens.
Yeah, living life in the moment.
Yeah.
I would say, more or less in the same. I wouldn't want to know too much. I wouldn't want to adapt or try and change my life around, that. Whilst knowing something would be nice too. I think for me, whilst it would be nice to know if, there is a partner there on the horizon, if I'm going to meet someone soon, that would be nice. But I'd also love, more importantly for me, like career-wise, being in an industry that's so, up and down. I think it would be just really nice to know, if there is some light at the end of the tunnel too, or if there is anything in the pipeline in regards to, particular projects, or, just a way forward in career. That would be a little bit of reassurance.
But the thing is that it might not be reassuring. It might say
not.
There's nothing coming for you.
Yeah, it might give you a little bit of sense of false hope, or So, but I think knowing a little bit, but not too much. Would probably be.
And only the positives. I don't want to know the negatives.
Only the good stuff and the juicy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, next, moving along.
Okay, moving on.
Name two things you and your partner appear to have in common.
Okay, as in you're my partner.
Yeah.
All right. What do we have well, the first thing that I found that we have in common is that we both just jumped at this opportunity, which wouldn't be for everyone. So,
of course,
when I heard that you'd come on board so fast, I was like, all right, well, obviously we've got that in common, that we'll both just give things a go, not knowing exactly what it's going to be.
Absolutely.
And what else I don't know you that well yet. We're up to what, question 5, 6?
Yep.
But I guess we're both confident enough to have a discussion with someone that we don't know, and go with the flow, and it's not weird and awkward. So.
Yep, absolutely. I would second that. Diving into something, that's the first thing. Something that not everyone would kind of do, or they would kind of shy away from it, or, just not be interested. So that's definitely a plus. And we appreciate a drink, by the sounds of it.
Yes.
So they would be the two.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. You have 3 minutes. Provide your personal bio and life story. Wow.
Oh, okay. Are you timing this or what?
Well, let me just, hold on, set the timer here. Make sure everything's on charge and working. Hold on, just a second.
What if you just hooked in there?
I was just making sure the battery's all charging here on this end.
Okay,
we wouldn't want something to stop.
To cut me off mid 3 minute.
No, mid your 3-minute bio.
All right, ready and go.
Go.
So I was born to my parents. Hit this up. No. All right. So.
Boring.
Whoops. Grew up in Melbourne. Got a sister, an older sister. She has 3 kids. So auntie to those girls, which is lovely.
Beautiful.
Then, oh God, I've had a blank already. What's happened in my life?
That's about 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay. All right. So I'm a primary school teacher.
Okay.
So I've been doing that for just over 10 years. So that's what occupies me during the day. I am an animal lover, so I've got a Rottweiler and a cat.
Beautiful.
Also been a housemate. He's not usually an animal, but you could maybe class them all together at some stage.
Yep.
I love to travel, so I try and do that as much as I can, but I've mostly done Southeast Asia because it's nice and cheap and hot and tropical.
Yep.
Was supposed to expand my horizons a little this year, but COVID happened.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, what was it? My bio, and was there something else? Was there another part to that?
That's about 2.5 minutes, so you're almost there.
Okay. Well, I've been single for a really long time, which, I'm happy being independent, but also I prefer to share it with someone. But independent over being with the wrong person.
Absolutely. Yep.
Oh God, I don't know what else. I live in a house near the beach.
Nice. Oh.
I don't know. I'm not great at talking about myself unless I have specific questions.
Well, that covers more than enough.
Okay. All right. It's all the surface level stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm Frank. You obviously know that. I was born in Perth originally, in Western Australia. Grew up in an Italian background. So both parents were born in Italy, but my father came here in the 50s. So half the family was in Perth and half were in Italy, in Sicily. So had a nice upbringing in the sense that I was very close to my grandmother in Perth. Unfortunately, my grandfather had passed before I was born, who I was named after, Francesco.
Oh, that's nice.
And then the other half in Italy, as kids, my dad was a travel agent for many years too. So I got to spend quite a bit of time with my grandparents over there also.
So good.
So grew up very close with cousins and all sorts. And spent majority of my life in Perth. And then sort of went through school, was always interested in drama and acting, and played soccer. Also, was always very much soccer, coming from an Italian background.
Yeah.
Also, and then I studied performing arts and film at Curtin in Perth, and then wanted to kind of change it up and see what other opportunities I could get. And then I moved to Melbourne at 21. So living in another state was amazing, and especially a city like Melbourne, it's so alive.
Yeah.
And then I, continued pursuing my career here and did lots of traveling. I love traveling. It's one of my favorite things, especially having a base of family in Italy. Yeah. I've done more of Europe, bounced around through Europe, traveled to a few different places, but mainly Europe. It was an amazing trip last year, which was great. At least I was able to do that before.
Yeah, you got it in time.
I've got 2 sisters, also one older, one younger, and 2 beautiful little nieces. They're gorgeous. So I'm an uncle too.
Are your sisters here?
Yes, all my family has now moved here. It kind of started with me.
They all followed you. That's nice.
They all followed. And then my older sister came over, and she'd met a guy that's from Melbourne but was living in Perth and working.
Okay.
And then when my younger sister sort of got to a certain point where my older sister was having kids, and she decided I'm going to come over for the birth of my first niece. And then my parents felt kind of, lonely, and our kids have left us.
Yeah.
And yeah, so now my parents recently just moved over. Not great timing with COVID, but really nice that we're able to
really
be.
recent.
Or very recent, yeah, literally the start of COVID.
Wow.
So really nice that we're all able to be together. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of in a nutshell. Good family, good values in that sense, and I appreciate spending time with friends and family, and love all things traveling.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And one thing we.
Oh no! Jump in.
Oh, okay. One thing we both left out is age. How old are you?
31.
Okay, I'm 36.
How old are you? 36. Okay, no worries. Yeah, well, I just forgot about age in that moment, but yeah,
and
it's
look,
an important thing.
It doesn't really matter, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's worth the mention.
Yeah, worth the mention.
Okay, cool. Nice. Now, where are we up to? Okay, beautiful. If you died this evening, this is heavy.
Oh, deep. Okay.
If you died this evening, what would you regret most not having done?
Look, I'm not a big fan of regrets because I don't think it's really that useful dwelling on the past if it's not something that you can change.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess some things that I would like to do before I do pass would be more travel, find someone to love, have a kid, probably.
Yep.
So they're probably just the bucket list things that I'd like to do.
Cool.
But I don't think there's anything that I'd particularly regret. So I like to kind of enjoy my life and enjoy whatever situation I'm in and find the bright side of things. So no regrets.
Yeah, I agree. No regrets. I like to think I live a life of no regrets. I mean, we all have questionable decisions we've made, no doubt. I'd say though, one thing that comes to mind for me is I mentioned I went to the Cannes Film Festival quite a few years ago. And after an incredible experience, I was on my highest high after having met Sophia Loren. The same time that night, I got a phone call that my grandmother had the stroke. So it was just all came crashing down. And I suppose, I got on the plane and I flew back to Perth straight away. And, I saw my grandmother in her dying days, in a coma. And I suppose I wish that if I could change anything, hindsight is a wonderful thing, that I maybe could have gone to Perth before, spent more time with my grandma, if only I knew.
But you weren't to know.
You
she would have been happy that you were enjoying your life and doing what you want to do.
Absolutely. She would have been 100%. But I guess that's something that has played on my mind a bit.
Yeah.
So, but, that's life.
Which reminds me, I need to call my nanas this week.
Absolutely. Call. I always say that to my friends. If you can't see them because maybe you're not in the same state or not close or COVID or whatever it is, you can get on the phone.
Yeah.
They are special, very special people.
They are.
Okay, moving along. Okay. Do you think you know how you might die? And have you ever planned your future?
Planned my future. Not planned my death, planned my future.
Would hope not.
Okay. All right. No idea how I'm going to die. Hopefully nothing drawn out or tragic, but I don't know, hopefully just when I'm old, but not too old that I'm suffering.
Mm-hmm.
But no idea. And planning my future, look, when I was younger, I thought I knew where my future would go. Just, I guess, based on the models around me, being my parents, my sister. So, and I had a long-term boyfriend when I was younger as well. So I was just like, yeah, well, we're obviously going to get married. We'll have kids by 24. Get married, move
All
into a
that.
house, have kids by 24. Live happily
Yeah.
ever after. That's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
So that
And
was
then
probably.
things happen, and then things happen.
Then things
Life.
happen. Life happens. You realise that if I had done that, would have been a mistake anyway. So yeah, that was probably my biggest future planning. But now, I guess there's the things that I hope for, but not necessarily planned, because things don't always work the way you plan.
You can't, of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look, I would say I have no idea how I'm going to die either.
It's a strange question, to be honest.
Hopefully something really adventurous.
Oh, yeah.
Or, to be honest, I mean, of old age, no suffering, and maybe in my sleep, if I had to, pick.
That's the perfect, right?
That would be the perfect way to go.
Yeah.
As far as planning for a future, I mean, absolutely. When I was younger, I thought I was going to be, the next Italian soccer star. My idols, Del Piero, and, other players, and that was just what I thought.
Yeah.
But, life happens, and then, you change maybe career path, or, you meet different people along the journey. And I started to kind of just, open up more to living in the moment, and, just taking it as it comes and going with the flow. Whilst I have, some goals, and, I'd love to think more ahead of the future, I think you just don't know what can happen.
Nah.
I think you just got to stay open to.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Okay. What would you do with $1 million?
Ooh, all right. With $1 million, I would probably do something sensible and buy an investment property, and then use the leftovers to holiday. And I'd like to say I'd give some to charity. So I'd give some to charity. I just don't know how much.
Yep.
Or to what charity. But I'd be a bit more generous with my that's a good cause. Let's swing them some money.
Absolutely. Yep.
You?
I would say I would definitely, with majority or as much as I can, finance a film that I've been developing.
Oh, that's more interesting than my answer.
That would go a long way.
Yeah.
I would look after my family and friends.
I should have said that. Should have said
go on a little adventure. You put enough in the bank to either look after myself for a little bit, or maybe look into an investment, and then pay it forward, give to a charity or someone.
I think the thing is that $1 million isn't as much as we think it is these days.
It's not. When you think about it, it's not.
Yeah, if I buy an investment property, that's probably 700 maybe gone. That's probably for a reasonably priced place.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Whilst it would definitely go a long way, it would go a long way at the moment. Yeah, it's not.
Oh look, 100% it would, but it's not as much as it used to be. Oh my God, $1 million.
Agree. And I think it's easy to kind of, when you're answering, for the purpose of the question, but when you've got the $1 million in your account, who knows what could happen. Yeah. Okay. So what is the most embarrassing thing about your childhood?
Okay, probably because I have blonde hair, right, it's quite susceptible to chemicals. So I was at my friend's place when I was younger, in primary school. I don't know. She had an older brother. So, you've always got to try and be a bit cool.
Yeah.
The older brothers. And we went in the spa, and there's a lot of chlorine in the spa. So I came out and my hair was green. Kind of embarrassing in front of my friends and the older brother. So, yeah, green hair maybe.
Green hair, not ideal.
Not ideal.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other things, but that's the one I can remember right now.
Yeah. The first thing that came to my mind was almost, I almost blew up my shed. It was literally on fire.
Oh,
And it was lucky my dad got there in time before it took over the house also.
whoa, okay.
I was the type of kid that was very experimental. In this, I would run and jump over fences, and I had this obsession with insects. And you know those little science,
Yeah.
lab things that you used to get. So I got an insect, and it's going to sound terrible, but I was
Oh my
like
God, what
cutting
did you do to it?
and yeah,
You
I was
dissected
like,
it?
dissecting it. And I even
Oh,
thought I thought I would light a match. I was young, cut me some slack. Thought I would light a match, and I just got right into this thing,
oh my
except I
gosh.
didn't put it out properly inside the shed. And my mum and dad had no idea what I was doing. So I thought I stamped it out, and left. And later that night, my dad went to go and get something in the shed, and we had furniture and everything in there. And this thing totally took off. And yeah, my parents were not happy. I was in serious trouble,
I can
and
imagine.
they told the story. They told the story to the family and the rest of people and everyone. And yeah, it was
Oh
it
gosh.
may be funny now, but as I grew up, it was quite embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
at the
this
time.
is the
So that,
sun that nearly burnt our house down.
yes, pretty much. Yeah. um,
Oh dear.
Next question. Number 9. What would you change about your family or childhood if you could?
Uh, oh, that's a tough one. I've got a great family and I had
Mm-hmm.
a good upbringing. I guess what I would change lately is, without getting too much into family business,
Mm.
like the family started to break apart a little bit in terms of the extended family once
Mm-hmm.
my nana moved into a home, and then just dealing with the selling of her house and stuff caused a lot of
Mm-hmm.
issues between some
Yeah.
family members, and that just really kind of pisses me off. But
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
yeah, that something like that can cause rifts in a family
Yeah. Yeah.
that was,
Understandable.
reasonably well
Mm-hmm. Tight or
organised
tight knit
before.
and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's probably the one thing that bothers me the most
Mm.
with my family, that's kind of in amongst it now. And
Yeah.
my generation, like my cousins and everything, we try and stay out of it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's
So
hard when
not
it's your parents not
definitely.
necessarily getting along with their siblings.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but other than that, my upbringing and my immediate family are all great, so there's probably
Mm-hmm.
not really much I'd change there.
Yeah, I'm much the same. Definitely upbringing, childhood, wouldn't change anything. It was a wonderful upbringing, amazing parents, sisters, and extended family and cousins.
Yeah,
We were all very close.
yeah.
Spent a lot of time at my grandmother's house. We had like a room where we'd all play. I had a lot of my cousins were girls, so majority female in
So
the
are you getting dressed up in the fairy outfits and stuff?
so they're trying, all sorts of things, and
Getting your hair braided?
my eldest cousin, he was a bit older than me, older. He was already going out, and he wasn't
Yeah.
worried about little Frankie. So there was, lots of fun around that. And I suppose much like yourself, as you get older and certain things happen, and my grandmother passing, and houses and estates, and money and things become difficult.
Yeah, it's
So
unfortunate,
sadly,
isn't it?
that's been kind of an unfortunate thing with family. And we do our best to kind of keep it together with cousins and things like that. But I guess it's never easy, and we hope that there's some light at the end of the tunnel, and we can
Yeah, sounds pretty similar.
get through it.
And it's just so
So
unfortunate
yeah,
when that happens, because it's like
yeah,
you're dealing with the emotional side of things, that your grandma or whoever it is getting older and less independent,
hmm,
and that's just a bit hard.
yeah,
So
yeah,
then, and I guess that's
yeah,
where it comes from, that everyone kind of deals with that in different ways. But
absolutely, yeah.
yeah, it's
So
just, it's disappointing.
that's life, and it is disappointing, So yeah, but as far as upbringing and still to this day, happy in that sense. So
Yeah.
yeah. Next one. What do you already like about the other person? tell them. So that would be me.
Oh,
Talk to me.
Well, I like your smile for starters. You got a nice big
Right.
warm smile.
Great.
So that's good. And
Now I can't help smile.
I don't know, we seem to have a lot of similarities in terms of our upbringing and values and stuff. So I like that. And yeah, you're easy to talk to.
Yep, absolutely. I would say smile straight away. It's the first thing I notice about anyone, and especially when you have a lovely smile like yours. So yeah, and just a bubbly, like warm personality from what I can see, and yeah, there's some similarities there, which is always it's nice to have that bit of banter.
Yeah.
You know.
A little bit of banter.
Yeah, appreciate the same things, all similar.
Yeah.
From the sense that I get. So yeah.
Okay.
Good. Ooh, if you could. Oh, I like this one already. If you could gain one superpower, what would it be and why?
Ooh, okay. Superpower. I don't know how creative I am with this stuff, but like, first thing probably that came to my head was flying, because then, especially if I could fly like real fast and fly to other countries real fast by myself without having to sit on a little plane and not be able to sleep because I'm all cramped. Not that I'm a big person, but still, it's cramped.
But still, yep.
So yeah, maybe like super fast flying powers, because then I can just roll out of bed, quickly get ready, and then be at work like that without sitting in the car. And I could just holiday wherever I want with 10 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
Have a little sleep. Have a little sleep on some there, because it's probably, quite wearing.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah, let's go with flying.
Flying? Okay. I would say to hear what women want, to be able to hear their thoughts.
Have you seen that movie though?
I have seen that movie. I think it would be good for a little bit. If only you could switch it off.
You might switch it off faster than you think.
Yeah, I think
too many thoughts going on around you.
Too many things going on. Yeah, I think I'd like the idea of that. I think every guy would like the idea of that.
Okay.
But
you
really,
might be disappointed in the end.
It could be. So maybe it would be better going with, if I had a second choice, to be able to teleport.
Oh, stop upping on the answers.
That would be awesome.
That's just the next level of flying. I don't want to fly anymore. Now I want to teleport.
Just bang, and I'm there.
All right, that's better.
That would be cool.
But you miss out on the view.
Okay. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And the wind in your hair.
True. No, you're right. You have a point there. Let's go with what women want then for now.
All right. Good luck with that. Enjoy.
Next question. Oh, okay. Where is the strangest place you've ever had sex or kissed someone?
Oh, wow. Okay.
They're getting juicy here.
Okay. Who's seeing this?